For most of us, including myself, we are our own worst enemy. We all have habits that undermine our goal of getting rich or retiring early or just being able to live comfortably. So I'm going to expose those today and give you guys a hearty dose of truth that we all need to hear, including myself. And the last one is just devastating. Even if you don't understand any of the other habits on this list, you absolutely have to understand the last one. Now, I believe everybody can have financial freedom and retire early despite all the lies that you've been told. So if you want to take total control of your life, I'll show you the very real way and alternative to becoming financially free and retiring early. So make sure you're subscribed so that way you get all this information, because they don't want you to know about it and I want you to be completely free from this mess. So habit number one is always asking, how much can I afford? And the actual literal translation for that is, how do I spend every dime that I have? People do it all the time with houses, with cars, with any other large expense. The first question usually is, and the first question that will be pitched to you by the salesperson, by the person who is your real estate agent or your broker trying to help you, will be, how much house can you afford? How much of a car payment can you afford when you're at the car dealership? It is all designed to suck as much money out of your paycheck as possible. Not what you need, not what is best for you. That is not the question that is ever posed to you. The question and the bottom line question that always comes up, and most people actually ask first, especially when they're just kind of doing their research, is, how much house can I afford? How expensive of a car can I buy? How much is that monthly payment going to be? Then you get into utility and all kinds of other things like that. But before that, we are always asking the complete wrong questions. And it doesn't even go for just large expenses. Think about it. At the end of the month, if there's an extra $100 in your account, most people go directly to, ooh, what can I treat myself with? I mean, I deserve a treat, right? It's the end of the month and I haven't spent all my money yet. So let's just go right on ahead and treat ourselves for being good and having this extra $100 and figure out how to actually spend it as well. Bottom line is, if you're asking yourself how much I can afford, you are actually just saying, how do I spend every dime that I have? Habit number two is not investing. I will invest later is honestly a very common theme from everyone. Everybody always thinks it's not the right time right now, but later on, I'll get to that and I'll start investing. And the other one that is said, if you didn't say that one, you're definitely going to say this other one, is, I'll invest when I'm in a better spot. Which clearly, if you do number one on this list, you're never going to actually be in a better spot. By saying you're going to invest later, or it's not really the best time for me to invest right now, you are actually delaying your biggest asset, your biggest compounder to building wealth, and that is time and compounding. Neither one of which happen if you delay it until later. You'll delay it until later, until you're 50 something and going, oh crap, I don't have a whole lot here to retire. Maybe I should get on that now. Well, unfortunately, you just gave up the last 30 years of compounding that probably would have already made you a multimillionaire at this stage if you just kind of deposited $300 or $400 per paycheck into just a simple S&P index fund, for example. And if you don't make investing your priority, you're never going to be in a better spot to actually invest in the first place. Habit number three is, you have vices and you may not know it. I'm not talking about the obvious ones here, like drinking, smoking, gambling, stuff like that. Those are all obvious, and they're absolutely habits that absolutely keep you from gaining real wealth and a lot of other things like that. Just look at the cost of a pack of cigarettes and a few drinks out at the bar there. Add that up over the course of the next 25, 30 years, 40 years, however long your life frame is left, and see exactly how much money you waste on those vices. But those are completely obvious and everybody knows about those. Let's talk about the less obvious ones. Too much screen time, social media, watching TV shows, sports, whatever it is absolutely advice. And yeah, it may not cost you a lot of money. It definitely costs you money in terms of subscriptions, having a bigger, nicer TV. Of course, you got to have a sound system with that and all the other good things like that. And of course, then you may start gambling on those sports games, right? That's very, very popular too. And that's gaining in popularity, especially sports betting or fantasy football or fantasy baseball or whatever the case is. There's all kinds of advices attached to all those sort of things. And even if it doesn't turn into something that's monetary like that, it's still taking away from your time, which the number one reason I hear in my group, I have an investing group, the number one reason why people want to kind of break away from the group and take a break is because they don't have time. The other reason is they don't have money to afford to do it right now, despite the fact the cost of a membership is actually less than a meal out. Heck, if it's just you and one other person, you can't even get McDonald's for the price of the membership, but yet people don't seem to be able to want to have the time or the money. And it's because they have vices that aren't traditional vices that we think about. Shopping can become a vice very, very quickly. And if you're one of those folks where you have to have the latest fashion, the latest piece of tech, the latest piece of gear, or you upgrade your iPhone every year or something like that, you have a vice, and it is absolutely killing your financial future. Number 4, you have a habit of not tracking every dollar. If you cannot tell me where every dollar of your paycheck goes, and I mean every dollar, you have a habit of not tracking your money. That means you probably have giant holes sucking money away from you. If you're not tracking your money, somebody else is, and they're gonna figure out how to get that money from your bank account over to their bank account. And I'm not talking about fraud or anything else. I'm talking about being able to reach in there and pull it out. Sometimes without you forget about it, right? You sign up for something and then you forget about it, and then 6 months later, oh yeah, I have that. Maybe I should shut that off. That wouldn't happen if you were tracking every dollar of your money. But most people don't have a clue where their money goes. They just go, well, it pays my rent, pays my bills. I don't know. That right there is about as deep as they get on the whole thing. That is a disastrous habit that the vast majority of extremely wealthy people who have built their wealth on their own don't do. They know exactly where every dollar goes and they account for it. All right, so on to the last one here, and this one is the biggest one. If you don't agree with any of the other ones, you don't do any of the other ones, fine. You got to do this last one. So number 5, you have a habit of not learning. Most people do not understand how money works, how investing works, how even time works, how retirement works, and a lot of other things like that. They don't know any of that. They have zero clue. Can't describe to me what a PE ratio is on a stock, or can't tell me what a good real estate investment is and how you actually define an asset or something like that nature. Can't tell me that. They can tell me every detail about their favorite character on their favorite TV show, or they know the stats of their favorite players and all their favorite teams. A lot of folks can tell me a lot of those things. And that's awesome, that's cool, but unfortunately, it means you are neglecting learning the most important thing in your life, which is your money. When was the last time you took a financial related course? Do you know how to value a stock or how to analyze a real estate deal? Do you understand how to actually just view investments in general and where it fits kind of in your overall goals and your retirement plan? What exactly is the number that you need in order to retire to have in your account? And then what is your drawdown plan? How do you plan on achieving that? And how do you plan on using that nest egg to fund your retirement until you die? What is your plan to get there? And do you even know how to get there? If you don't know the answers to every single one of those questions, you unfortunately have a habit of not learning. And the consequence for that is you're going to work the rest of your life, whether you know it or not. Put forth the effort towards your financial education. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Just put in that effort so that way you can avoid that disaster of having to work forever. The good news is this channel is all about teaching you exactly how to do that and actually find alternative routes to financial freedom and retiring early. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel because they don't want you to know any of this, and I want you to be completely free from this mess. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.